For those of you who don't know me, my name is Crystal, and I am on a journey of healing. A lot of that healing is physical, but some of it is also spiritual, mental, and emotional. And today's topic kind of touches on all of that. And so have been studying on forgiveness, and I have some things that I would like to share. And maybe it's just for me. Maybe it's not anything that you will find useful, but if even one person this helps them, I want to share it. So I'll start by saying that Jesus' death on the cross is the ultimate example of forgiveness. So his death on the cross was a conscious, deliberate decision by him to release love. That's how I'll say it, to release love to people who were actively harming him and to sinners like me, um, even when we didn't deserve it. And in place of vengeance, he gave his life as the punishment that we should have suffered. And that's what forgiveness is. It's a conscious, deliberate decision to let go of feelings of resentment and a desire for vengeance against someone who has wronged you or hurt you, whether or not they actually deserve it. Now, for me, part of the area where I struggle with forgiveness is the line between what is justice and what is vengeance. Because forgiveness is not about foregoing justice. When someone has committed a crime, when someone has hurt someone in a physical way or in a way that has caused them harm, that person needs to be prosecuted under the law. So I'm not saying that if that's happened to you, you forgive that person and then you don't deal with any kind of criminal prosecution or anything like that. But your motives in the prosecution, if they're from resentment or they're from a desire for vengeance, um, that is not forgiveness. And that line between vengeance and justice is one that I have a hard time with myself. The other thing is that forgiveness is not forgetting. As I said, it's a conscious and deliberate decision. If you've forgotten something, you don't have to make a conscious, deliberate decision to let go the feelings that that thing has brought you, the feelings of vengeance or resentment or bitterness, whatever those feelings are. So unfortunately, there's an old saying that forgive and forget. And I think a lot of times when people can't forget, they think they haven't forgiven or that forgiveness is impossible. And certainly when you've been personally wronged, it is not uncommon for all of those feelings that you experienced when you were originally wronged to come back. And when you have those feelings again, you have to continue to make that conscious, deliberate decision to let go of them, to turn them over to Jesus, to take them to the cross, and to not hold on. And so, our human memories being what they are, forgiveness is really hard when you keep remembering. The other thing is that forgiveness is not reconciliation. Um, so when someone keeps doing the same thing over and over again, it is okay to set up healthy boundaries. It is okay to draw the line. For, let's say, a victim of domestic violence, it's okay to get a restraining order and seek to stop that person's abusive conduct. Because you're getting the restraining order doesn't mean that you haven't forgiven. Um, But when you go into court and you're facing that person, it's going to be very difficult to not want vengeance, to not have some level of resentment or bitterness. And so forgiveness is the act of killing those emotions, letting them go, um, The final thing is that forgiveness is a biblical commandment, and I'm just going to end by reading Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And that's our reminder that even though Jesus didn't deserve the cross, he went to the cross knowing we would sin, knowing what it was going to cost him and how painful it was. And so when we find forgiveness hard, whether it's against someone else or even forgiving ourselves, we need to look to the cross and we need to look to Jesus.